Don't you know? cannot believe what I was taught at school actually came in handy. I'm glad they did not remove this part of my brain. If the quests continue to be this easy, I can definitely finish all of them in no time. Oh, right. There are hidden quests too. Should I start thinking about it as well? I remember there were numbers in unusual places. It's hard to remember. Whatever, let's focus on the main quest first this week. Let's see. What? What in the world is this? That is completely different than before. What are the shapes for? And these colored bars don't make any sense. And they didn't even try to hint what the green bars mean. Oh. I might have an idea.
Whoa. Hello guys. Wow, that's crazy. Well, I don't even know what that quest was, but anyways. Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, after the first 2 weeks of matches between players in winners and losers bracket in round 64 and round of 32, some players have been unfortunately eliminated, some players survived to the next round, and the next round in question is going to be round of 16. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one short quest episode. I guess this puzzle is very interesting. I would really recommend you guys try it out. But that out of the way, we have a map pool going on with me. It's going to be Epic Men to say hi.
Hi.
Yo. What? Where did you... That's not the intro I asked you to do. Okay.
Yeah, that is exactly the intro you asked me to do, mate. I did exactly what you wanted.
What do you want? No, I did not. Guys, listen. Guys.
Wait, what even happened? Wait, what even happened? Was that... did my mic peak too much?
A little bit. Let's just say a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry for that. Never mind then.
Okay. Let's talk.
Right.
What is this awkward intro, bro?
I don't even know. I literally just came back home. I literally only just came back home and just realized there's a Mappool showcase I gotta commentate. So we are here for Cat Young Cup. I mean, we have been seeing some of the matches from earlier on and how splendid some of these matches have been so far. So we may as well continue that blood, just keep the blood flowing as we go into round 16. We're gonna have even more good matches here and there, especially in the winners bracket, and also the conditionals being introduced as well. So I think everyone in the chat or like in the server already knows how conditionals work if they played in like numerous tournaments before. Do we need to like reiterate how they work?
Oh yeah. Well, a few things about round 16. First of all, like you said, conditionals. So players, for those who are relatively newer to tournaments players, you guys, if you guys are in the losers bracket, you guys will have to start to play for at most 2 matches every round. And why is that? Because we have, well, you have to, there's in the losers bracket for double elimination tournaments, you have to win your first match, which is obviously predetermined. You can check in the bracket already when it's out after the showcase, but afterwards, there is if you do win the first match, I should say, then you have a possibility of fighting against one player or the other, in which those two would also fight each other in their respective first match. And in these two, if both of you guys win, then you guys would have to face in the second round of the losers bracket match. So that's kind of the conditional. The conditional being like, you don't know who you're facing after you win the first one. You know, I'm not good at explaining this one, but yeah.
Yeah, that's more or less how it works usually. So yeah, I think pretty much that summarizes like some of the things that I really need to say, besides from the fact that we're also introducing, all right, let's see. We are going to be introducing some new map slots as well. We're going to be introducing 2 maps in the map pool now. So Rise 6 and also Hybrid 2, or well, the new Hybrid 2, which is going to be the Jack and Shield Hybrid, while Rise 6 will be the mixed Rise map.
Yeah, so 2 things, Rise 6 and Hybrid 3. A little bit more of a slot change as well, being Rise 4 instead of Dump, it's now gonna be Tech. And Rise 5 will be Dump. We kind of like swapped it in between. I don't know why, but we decided to do it. It's like a more appropriate order, I guess. And then Rise 6 is gonna be mixed, or like you said. And Hybrid 2 staying being the Jack orient. It's not really like full Jack, but it's like shield oriented hybrid, whereas Hybrid 3 is gonna be more like a tech-based hybrid, I guess. So separating the 2 slots. Gonna be interesting to see how players do, but of course the map pool is also gonna get much more difficult. I don't want to stall too much now, so moving on to the Osu screen. Let's go.
Indeed, yeah. But while we get our title card out the way, yes, you see Puppy yet again. We're gonna be seeing the main layout once again. All right.
So Rise 1 gonna feature a new mapper actually. New mapper for CYC. I think you guys might recognize him back in some Japan tournaments, JMC for example, Japan Mania Championship 3. He was a very active mapper in that tournament. He's gonna come back in Katyam Cup, mapping the speed pick, replayed by Nad.
Absolutely. So yeah, as we all know, the speed pick is pretty much what everyone usually expects to start each of these map pools off with, as this is going to be, okay, this is actually quite a funny BPM. This is 170 BPM with how many zeros? I never knew the song was like that deep of a
It's because Tosu's being funny. It's 170, but Tosu just has like floating error, I guess. Yeah. It's 170 at
of course
mostly 1/8. Mostly 1/8, so it's 340 BPM streams. I mean, standard MWC +1, MWC quarterfinals is 340, so is this one. But this map, in the intro at least, introduces a little bit more wacky snapping to start things off. Some like 1/6, I believe, to like not make it too intense just yet.
Yeah, it's really just about having a bit of a balance when it comes to representing the way dumps are kind of imagined this, because there's pretty much a lot of patterns that you're really dealt with in this one, as opposed to typical Rice ones, where there's a variety of jacks that are thrown into the mix as well for extra measure, so that it basically becomes one of those picks that tells you that you really need to try and watch your back going into this one, where it's definitely going to have to make you focus on the variety of patterns you're going to play through, because yes, there's a lot of streams that are really volatile in terms of the snap direction and just how they're usually dressed, especially when it comes to how they manage between 1/6 and 1/8 snaps, but also the jacks kind of being used as refrains here that also allows not only for expression but also additional challenge when it comes to this as a pick overall.
Alternating, but here we go, the Ki section. Gonna be more standardized now. This is just gonna be plain 1/8 streams for the last quarter of this map. I mean, it's fairly, like, I would say, simple, because there's not much weird anchors or mini jack components constantly appearing, so it's relatively smooth to play. It's not like super hard to control your fingers playing this one, so if you are comfortable with this speed, which is easier said than done, right? 340 streams are like very fast, but very chill, should be manageable for most players. But if you are not the best at Rise, these kind of physical-ish picks are gonna be very scary for you, but not very long, 2 minutes-ish. Gonna be This is like a BMS old song, you know, on Mayron. If you did like play BMS like 10 years ago or something, you might recognize this song.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of maps of this song that are like pretty much everywhere. I mean, I believe Monheim like mapped this song in the past, and then also there's a really big
Oh, really?
like
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's mostly like core jack, and then there's also like a pretty big tiger set of this song as well. So it's like it's pretty much around the block. I mean, Luz or Detro is definitely one of those artists that has definitely been around the block
Detro.
numerous times in the rhythm game sphere, especially originating from BMS, and Rise 1 pretty much makes most sense as to why they may seem fairly synonymous with this type of thing, as this does it for Rise 1, so we can move on to Rise 2, which will remain as our go-to thing.
So
Yep.
we have want to mention about this round. This round will feature a bunch of Daria core songs, and this is going to be our first one. This is a really, really good song, by the way, at 1.25, a Reich Shower song.
Still chasing that summer when we reach the blue together. This is gonna be a step up from the previous round, as we are gonna be jumping the gun from 240 BPM straight ahead to none other than 250 BPM. And in round of 16 as well, is definitely quite a statement to be making, as there's gonna be a lot of players that will be facing here that will be pretty tough to face as well. So going into the typical hyperflip drop as we usually see, there's gonna be a fair amount of dense jump streams and a few bits of jump trills and split trills being thrown in here for extra measure. Basically kind of adding to this as a kind of physicality test, while it is very conventional in its own right still.
Like you said, like there's still a bunch of players left in this round, so like if they're not bond with faster jump stream, because this BPM does match the BPM for jump stream back in qualifiers, right? If you remember stage 5 in Isekai. So I'm gonna try to replicate that as much as possible, and it's actually like even closer with the fact that this map has a lot of breaks as well in between, but it's much shorter. But there's a lot of breaks for players to work with. Back in last round, in round 32, that map had practically no breaks, and players struggle a lot in that stamina aspect, I could see. This time we have much more chill parts here and there, but with the compensation of this map being, of course, faster at 250.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just harkening back to what you were saying earlier, Poppy, you said that this map is a lot shorter than the previous round. This is like 3 minutes and 38 seconds. I swear it's
not like, it's like, no, I mean, as in like, there are a lot more breaks. Like, each jump stream part is short, instead of like one long continuous jump stream non-stop. Like, you can see a lot of breaks in between. Of course, the length is still long, it's stupid. And in 1.25 as well, I think like base rate is like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair, because like, I definitely think when it comes to a variety of turns, a lot of the time when it comes to going into the mid-game range, there is usually a stamina slot that's usually introduced when it comes to Mappools, and I feel like there is a point where these jump stream picks kind of just end up feeling the same, so I feel like just secluding that into only one slot definitely brings out the best of both worlds, alongside just making it more of a strategic pick while keeping variety in Mappools. So I honestly think it makes sense to have a map like this to serve as a consistency check, while it's all the more conventional, as in the contrary to Rise 1, where there's still a lot of occasions in the map where it uses a lot of varying snaps, but this one is a lot more straightforward, and that's exactly what makes this more difficult for players, just because of the amount of real act players that we have, especially going into the final four, where going into the final 150,000 or so notes, the score you have to hit, there's still a lot of patterns that are gonna be pretty dense. Yeah, bro, my bad.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Ending.
Sorry, my English is like struggling.
It's okay. A lot of split shows in this kind of ending, just to make sure you still have that stamina aspect going on. Yeah, like you said, I don't want to have 2 jump stream picks this early on, even if it's first to 6 now. There will be 2 jump stream picks, kind of, from semi-finals onwards, so you guys can look forward to that when there's 7 rice picks. But for now, we still have just 1 jump stream, combining both stamina and like jump stream, while when we have two, it's gonna be one that's like short but jump stream but fast, and then the other one's gonna be like longer but more stamina heavy but slower but denser, something like that. But that's for semi-finals onwards. Not right now. We're at round 16. But yeah. This is a really good song. I think you guys should more check like those like SoundCloud random character names as artists, but it's actually just the area core artists. Those are like it's like the hidden gem of songs, in my opinion.
Exactly. There's always a bit of an underground scene when it comes to SoundCloud, especially in the darkcore scene, where you know, even after what 5-6 years, something, it's literally like still thriving a lot, and people keep pushing the bar when it comes to sound design, especially in that field alone. So it's really cool to see, as you know, this does it for Rise 2 as well. We can move on to Rise 3, in which this one's going to be the Chord Jack pick, I believe.
Yes.
Akon Baby.
Yes, Chord Jack. Oh my god, the Tosu's dying again. Anyways, 145 BPM, we have a Miu-K song. Made by Angel Chen. This is a very textbook Chord Jack pick. There's like not much I could comment about this other than the fact that triples, 3-note anchors, here's the Chord Jack pick.
Exactly. So pretty much most of what we have already been seen throughout this tournament thus far, and this one's going to be a little shorter on the Mappool as opposed to its predecessor, which was Mekopara. So going to be featuring a lot more of these kind of thick cores that are incorporated, a lot of these triple jacks as well, some of these anchors as well that are incorporated in between the two, embedded wherever it can, and pretty much from how it looks at the moment, it's pretty much a straightforward test of your consistency and how well you can really hit every pattern to the metronome, really, as you know, knowing a lot of Miu-K songs by default, a lot of them are fairly upbeat by default already, so it makes the most sense seeing this as, you know, a potential a choice for the Chord Jack custom here, as you know, the map itself is pretty much going to be very similar to that of what we've seen earlier on.
Simple stuff. Chord Jack does come down to your ratio game, like more straightforward stuff. You just have to be able to hit every note on beat all the time. There's some stamina aspect in this kind of map, but there's a lot more like slightly less dense or small breaks for you to work with in case your stamina really isn't working that well. So it's not full non-stop Chord Jack, just some stops here and there, but you know, this final section is still going to be a little bit more stamina draining as you enter a more final outro section. You can see if you have the stamina for it, you can act this map very, very well. Just like Levet, enter acting this flawlessly.
Dude, I was just about to say, look at live at scoring this. How did they literally only get 22 perfects on this for a replay?
Yeah.
That is...
Yeah, good luck sniping this. Venter doing too well on this one. I don't even know what to say. I think this is our highest score. Our highest score in like the whole replay system. The second highest one is even more crazier. You'll see why. But yeah, that's it. That's it for Rise 3. Rise 4 gonna be featuring a mapper that hasn't mapped for this tournament before. He is a very known tech mapper for quite a long time now. He has been friends with me since I started Osu as well. It's a little bit of a fun fact. So he's gonna be none other than just any dude, you know. Let's go, Jaden. Gonna be having our Rice tech slot.
Indeed. So I know for a fact that Jaden is one of those mappers that has been occurring in tournaments ever since the previous year, starting off with Anti-Med Madness 2, going into Solo Skull Rush, and then a few other turns from there that has since followed. So it's pretty interesting to see how this guy is managing, especially on Rise, as opposed to the typical Alens that I've seen this guy work with, because I know for a fact that this guy is honestly quite insane when it comes to his general tuition and in terms of how they address long note parenting, especially when it's allowed to be somewhat technical. So allowing to bring that technicality over into the Rise field as opposed to what we've basically grown used to is honestly a bit of an interesting direction, I want to say.
Yeah, this map, a very new direction for Jaden as well, I would believe. Like he always maps hybrid or L1 tech, and this time with him jumping in the Rise category. A lot of grace notes alternating between small free note anchors at what 152 BPM. Again, Tosu's dying. Don't worry about it. But 152 jacks alternating. It's like my Rice 5, right? Last round, but like it's like executed way better by 100 times.
Yeah, precisely that. This tech map is, I want to say, somewhat similar to various of the other tech maps we've been seeing before. I mean, this one, to me, on the surface, seems a lot less, like, focusing on discomfort as opposed to, oh, was it Loner from the previous round? Yeah, Loner. Where it's like, it features a lot more of these conventional tech patterns, albeit it's still fairly difficult to act just because of how the rhythm kind of differentiates and just kind of changes up in this song alone. I mean, this is a song from Jukebox. I have no idea where the song came from, but the fact that, you know, this kind of does give some rhythm game vibes, so it pretty much is somewhat expected that there's going to be a lot of pretty dense pattern incorporated within this one by default, more or less.
Final section going to be focusing more on the drums instead of the vocals. Jaden told me about it. And this ending is like trying to cover a lot of patterns. Like look at these mini jacks transitioning as well. It's trying to give you that, oh, you are going to die in this ending. Like these mini jacks are fairly evil, I would say, but if you're able to manage it, then you can see it like this replayer. Say hi to Forken, who I don't even. Why is his name just a keyboard mash? Forken, what is this?
I mean, Nod was literally just asking what the name meant over in the chat earlier, and apparently, I guess the only answer we have is when and Nicole or something. I mean, I have no idea how I'm meant to decipher that myself because I'm only fluent in only one language, and that language is called English because it's literally like difficult. I guess
Okay.
These people are speaking in hieroglyphics. I have no idea how y'all manage this. It's insane.
We're worrying too much about the replay name instead of the map. It's okay. That's fine. But yeah, Rice 5 is funny. Rice 5 is really funny because it's Satori.
Oh my days. Bro! Main character syndrome? Alright.
Oh god. Our dump pick gonna be Satori Maiden playing Satori Maiden map by Satori Maiden. Yeah. Terrific. Let's begin.
Dude, if I was a player in this turn, I literally would have like seen this and I would have been like, oh boy, I really can't wait to play Satori Maiden map by Satori Maiden. Yeah, like it's the fact that like I never thought I would have seen the name like appear literally 3 times in just one sitting, but the fact that it is actually quite a really funny coincidence. But I guess that's what happens when
it's 4 times.
Well, yeah. Oh my god, the replay. Oh, dear god, whoops. I mean, that's what happens when you theme your entire persona around a really popular character that everyone knows, in which, well, everyone and their moms have already played a Toho game at one point, especially the 11th edition. So, I mean, I remember I struggled when I was like playing it, but back to the map. This one is the dump slot. This one gonna be, I guess, lighter upon first glance as opposed to the tech map that we have just witnessed earlier, albeit it still features a lot of patterns that can be really easy to trip up on, especially with how these graces are kind of managed in their own right. I mean, especially being acquainted with Satori Maiden's style by default, it makes the most sense that there's going to be a lot of patterns that are going to be distinguished because of how light they are, but also they focus more a bit on the discomfort and just like, I guess, some intentional inaccuracy, which allows for the map to breathe personality more than anything.
Yeah, that's true. The Satori maps are usually like this. A lot of stream gimmicks that are fairly well structured, I would say. A lot of trills, you can see a lot of transitioning movement patterns that you can tell that a lot of representing in kind of sounds and like those, how do you call it? The Toho sound in general. I don't even know how to, whatever. It's very Satori Maiden.
Yeah.
Very Satori Maiden map in Satori Maiden map by Satori Maiden, played by Satori Maiden.
Indeed, yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be our main character rice map.
Main
This
character rice
pool.
map.
I mean, there's literally no other way I can describe this without saying it's just Satori Maiden, or like, you know, think of a better way to like describe it, because it just makes sense. Like,
It
it's
just
in
is.
character. Yeah.
It just is. Yeah. Thank you, Satori
Indeed.
Maiden. Moving on to the sixth right is gonna be Hachiko coming back with this song. I Didn't Need You Anyway. You guys might recognize the song from like I don't know where, but people just know this song for no reason. Downrated to
yeah, of course I know this
0.95.
Yeah.
You don't really see a down rate. This one was originally for quarterfinals, but like, and then we realized, oh wait, quarterfinals is already taken, so like we down rated 0.95 for the round of 16, and you know it's still fairly fast though. 209 BPM, gonna be our more mixed rise. So what is mixed rise? You might ask. My answer to you is I don't know. It's streams and mini jacks basically. But it's a mix of rice patterns, you know.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the map so far, this is meant to be the new rice map that we have that's going to be introduced from this round onwards, the mixed rice slot, in which you can kind of already gather that there is a lot that this map has to offer already, because it pretty much revisits a lot of familiar concepts that have already been introduced within the rice pool by default. Like, especially on our rice 2, you get some of these jump stream, hand stream kind of pairing, and then you also have a lot of burst pairs that are also embedded in between as well. So it's kind of like a bit of an amalgamation between Rise 2 and Rise 4 in this section here, where you have a lot of pairs that can be pretty difficult to play. I mean, I suppose that's why it's been downgraded by a little bit. I personally would have, like, I don't know, base rate just for, like, you know, because I think it would make sense for some strategy to be incorporated with, like, these map pools, especially in the early game, when it comes to some picks being slightly on the harder side, but I digress. I mean, it's from my pool to really judge.
The whole like lore about why we downrated this is because it's kind of my mistake. I put this for quarterfinals Rise 6 at first, but then I forgot that someone else already took it. And then there was this like awkward moment where we were like, okay, which one should be round? Which ones can be quarterfinals? Which one is the real one? And I'm like, let's just downrate this to round 16. Let's just put this in round 16, see if it works. And in the end, we decided to downrate this, and because when on base rate, this sounds really difficult. It's like actually MWC semi-finals level, but on 0.95 it's much more manageable. Yeah, it's a lot of 1-6 streams with like look at these like kind of transition sections as well. These little mini jacks that get generated when you make these gimmicky stream patterns to add up to that difficulty as well. So not the easiest mix map you want to see, but on 0.95 it's not more manageable in terms of BPM, but it's not easy by any means.
I mean, by default, the map itself seems really hard, just going off of how these bursts are really managed throughout the entire course of this map, where there's a real lot of these really burst-oriented patterns during this final drop, especially like, you know, with how stamina draining this song is overall. This is at a fast tempo, keep in mind, 209 BPM. With these patterns is definitely no slouch in terms of difficulty. I mean, maybe it's going to be for some of the players we have in the tournament right now who are very physical in their own right, especially over in the winners bracket, for example, but it's definitely going to be a bit of a different story in the losers bracket for the variety of players that are there, and how this one is going to either benefit them or pretty much be at their absolute detriment, which, you know, we'll have to see in just a few days, obviously. I mean, it's only Monday. We have, like, what, 4 days before we see it, unless we have, like, what, 5 matches on Thursday or Friday, as we've already been seeing throughout the past few weeks. So, I don't know. That's just me, I guess.
Full Rise custom for this round as well. I mean, it's just miraculous. But anyways, gonna move on to hybrid one. I think mappers don't like hybrid one, so like this is not a custom, but this is an edit. You see, mapper is Jugen, it's not Jugen. It's our triggers map, like a few years ago, I think, maybe 2023 if I remember correctly. I edited
Yeah.
it. I edited this a little bit, and there's a lot more like LN being shifted, and then some LNs being nerfed, and some density being buffed a little bit as well. Because there's a few imbalances that I found. So we're gonna edit this a little bit, and yeah, at 242 BPM, this is gonna be our streamy hybrid generic one.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think the main reason as to why stream hybrids are fairly incumbent when it comes to mappers is because it's basically like a bit of a niche category of maps in its own right. Like, you don't really see many people mapping in this type of style outside of turns, really, and I guess it makes sense that, you know, this one is going to be mapped by R-Trigger, because they are definitely a mapper that I've been seeing here and there around the block in recent times, making these kinds of maps, and, you know, being one of the only people to really continue making these even outside turns or in and out of the turn scene, really, as this is going to be a map of duplicity shade, albeit cut to only just about half the entire song. So there's a lot of burst pattern that's really incorporated in this one, some jump streams, a lot of fairly anchor-driven jump stream as well, with some bursts here and there, but there's a lot of elements that are also embedded in between as well, just to try and provide that balance, just to try and at least meet these expectations that Mashir would have laid on the groundwork from the previous weekend.
Compared to Mashir, which is last round's hybrid one, I would say this map has a lot more rice-only sections than Mashir, which has always a full LNs, always LNs somewhere, but you'll see that in this PI section there's going to be a lot more 242 jump stream being in play. Like this section is still the LN heavy one with a lot of transitioning between reverse shield LNs in between the streams, but it's not continuous jump stream as well. There's a lot more jags in between for players to, I guess, like a little bit of rest, but this one mini jag section can be a little bit tough as well. But and we're gonna back to the main hybrid one stuff again.
Indeed, so pretty much still a lot of fairly dense jump stream patterns as we've got. This one's gonna devolve into some really dense rice jump stream. You get jumps every half a beat, etc. And this one's gonna go into some speed core as well, and incorporating some more dense bursts as well, while there's still some LNs on the side as well. This one I can imagine would be very strenuous for a lot of players, so I definitely feel that this pick serves as definitely one of those that you should only go into like strategically if you want to try and exhaust your opponent. I definitely would imagine this map overall would really serve a strong purpose going into the late stages of a map or a match in general, where, you know, it's definitely one of those positions where I would imagine a lot of players would really begin to fear playing a map like this towards the very late stages of a match, really.
That is true. You see a lot of more stamina heavy picks who just want to try to exhaust these, make your opponent a little bit more tired playing, and then maybe you can try to take advantage of it. You know, strategy. If you want to pick this one, pick this one. A lot about accuracy game when it comes to hybrid one. Like, it's similar to stage 3 in qualifiers, I believe. So not the easiest map to act, I would say, but there's a lot of rice patterns for you to at least get a good grasp on, maybe getting better accuracy on those parts instead of having to deal with the full L and stuff. But Duplicity Shade at 1.05, again, beat map by Jugen, it's not from Jugen. Imagine if Jugen could map. But our triggers.
I mean, you never know. There's always an opportunity for Jugen to learn how to map.
Edited map. Jugen mapping. Hybrid 2, it's me. Hi. I'm back.
Poppy mapping. Did you guys know that Poppy mapped?
Wow. Look at this song. If you do know this song, you might ask, okay, why is this hybrid 2? I don't know. I want to try to transition. Like, last round's hybrid 2 is really not that jack heavy, so I kind of want to like slowly move back towards the jack only section. So this one's like in between jack heavy, but not really. There's a lot more burst still.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, especially being already well familiar with this song, this has been in a variety of other turns before, or at least in terms of the song itself, whereas this one is going to be a map, a custom of its own for this turn, where this is going to be the first map of many for our new Hybrid 2 slot, which will be the Jack Shield Hybrid, like I mentioned in the intro of this stream. So yeah, or at least after we had that little cutscene playing on here and there, and we definitely see how this one really ramps up in terms of how difficult it can be to control when it goes into this section here, where it's more melodic, pretty much reciprocative of or reflective of most of our rhythm game songs nowadays. But the way Poppy managed it here is definitely quite difficult. That's the best way to put it, I want to say. Yeah.
One sec. Okay. I forgot to mention this. This is not just a map by me. This is a collab between me and Rhino. Oops.
Oh,
I think Rhino mapped the first few seconds. 30 seconds, I think, and then when it comes to the drops, I mapped it. This whole middle section is still mapped by me, but like the outro is going to be mapped by Rhino afterwards again. So it's kind of also still some shield being presented here. You can tell there's a lot more shield in play compared to last round's Hybrid 2. But the shields here are way faster, 178 BPM. It's pretty fast for a map like this, and here we go. This section is where the long jack speed notes are gonna come in as well, which it's just a little bit mean, I'll be honest, but blame Rhino, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, like, all the players that we have in this round especially are going to be really good by default, so I think it does make sense that the Hybrid 2 here is going to be fairly difficult, especially in terms of how the shields and just the general control that's required to be played. Something like this is pretty much going to be, I guess, somewhat ramped up. Like, it's definitely going to be quite difficult as opposed to, like, I guess the Rice category where we have players literally knocking it out the park, but I guess this one, to a degree, like, at least helps to kind of balance things out. It definitely serves as a bit of a consistency check for how short this map is as well. So, yeah, I think that does it for Hybrid 2. It's a collab between Poppy and Rhino.
I don't know. Morse code difficulty name. Anyways, moving on to Hybrid 3. Say hi to Stereotype. I think he just got his map uploaded for Jazz, and now he's been uploaded for CYC as well. Wow. Crazy. This one is tech. We are too nice for this one because this tech is not that gimmicky yet. But it will get gimmicky in later rounds, but this map mostly is gonna be revolving around shields and graces as well. The starting point is fairly straightforward.
Yeah, indeed. So, still a lot of patterns that we have to see, and the tech hybrid is pretty much here to round out all that we've seen for the hybrid category, which this one is still gonna feature some of these shield pairings that we've seen somewhat similar or adjacent to that of Hybrid 2 from earlier, albeit they're definitely gonna be somewhat more unconventional to a degree, but it's still really comfortable from the main looks of it. I mean, knowing Stereotype as a mapper, I know for a fact that they've been upcoming for previous year or so, and have been upcoming for actually years on end, although it's only really since, I suppose, the previous 2 years, like, since they debuted in tournaments, and now going into tournaments like this one in Jazz, for example, being able to produce some more pretty insane maps here and there for various tournaments of different types, it definitely makes the most sense to see a Stereotype custom here for Hybrid 3, especially if with that section here, with that section we just saw that was very abrasive when it came to the Rice parents.
That one section was the abrasive part. It was that part is the mean part. I would say like players had to look up for that one very strong guitar drums part. That one was like a bunch of weird bursts that I would say killed a lot of players. But other than that, it's fairly chill. But this part's still a little bit more weird, transitioning between graces and small reverse or not reverse shields.
Yeah, indeed. There is still a lot that the map has to offer for the final quarter or so. I mean, going out of this section, you go into this transitional section that goes into some of these Ellen flams as well. Lots of staggered Ellen releases as well that definitely can be challenging, mixed in with some of these reverse shields as well. So, and yet another thing on your checklist to watch out for as we go to the final drop. Some more dump parenting is introduced, and pretty much from the looks of it, this is fairly comfortable. This is like, I guess, the more dump-oriented tech hybrid from the main looks of it, although I think the main challenge comes from how you really address these parents because of the fact, yes, this is only 2.5 minutes, but that's more or less average length for a lot of these maps overall, and holistically, this one does introduce a lot of very dense patterns that can be really hard to control, even while this is at OD 7.5. So although it's not really as physical, I want to say it's only really physical during the rise part. So I think that's going to be the one thing that players will have to look out for and definitely utilize strategically when it comes to picking this out in a match, for example.
Yeah, Hybrid 3 always one of those picks that if you pick it, it's a risk on its own. You have to be very confident in your consistency in hitting more unconventional, abrasive hybrid patterns, which are always not an easy task, especially when you're nervous in lobby. Like, it feels so much different playing Hybrid 3 maps in lobby. I want to emphasize this a lot. But Stuck Moth from Stereotype, this is going to be it for Hybrid 3, and we have LN1. LN1 is not a custom, unfortunately. This is a map all the way back in GBC 2024, I believe. And then GBC Spring 2024. And then we uprated it to 1.05 Troublemaker. Gonna be our coordination pick at 141.5 BPM.
Indeed. So pretty much serving as the coordination pick. This one is going to be still a bit on the coordination side of things. I mean, we've seen from various of the other coordination picks in the previous rounds and that they were pretty difficult to be able to act properly. Last weekend, we had a coalition map that was focused more on anchors, whereas this one's going to be focused more, I guess, still on anchors, although the river is going to stray away from swing rhythm as it was last week and focus back on some more of these sweeps that are definitely going to be challenging for a variety of players to be able to hit. And especially with how Racing usually manages these kinds of parents, they're pretty much well renowned for being able to have a timing hell style of their own, especially within coordination. So utilizing that in round 16 by default is definitely going to, I suppose, trip up a lot of players, especially while this is going to be one on the longer side at 3.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, especially, again, coordination try not to be 3 minutes challenge. Like, coordination maps just tend to be very long, a lot of consistency and continuous control needed to play these release CLNs for quite a long time without much breaks for you. You'd have to be focused at all times in all of these more extreme jacky patterns with weird releases. It's always kind of how LN1 is. I always say this, LN1 is the most LNE, LN. It's like, you have to have the best LN raw skill to be able to play LN1. If you play enough tournaments, this map might be good for you, but if you don't train LN enough, this map's like an insta-ban, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. This one's going to be still a lot more strenuous than LN1 in the previous round, where it's like the difficulty is going to be carried on for just a minute longer as opposed to what we had last weekend. So this is pretty much going to be the main challenge that comes out of this map, where you're going to have to control a lot of these sweeps as well, and also some of these staggered releases that can be fairly discomforting to play at first, but I think it's definitely one of those situations where it's basically just like trying beer for the first time, for example. You don't really, it tastes like absolute shit at first, but when you get used to it, it then like starts to feel a lot better, pretty much. I think that's kind of like the equivalent analogy I could probably transcribe for this map, where it's like you just get more used to it as you go along, and definitely, I mean, it depends on if you end up mind blocking that as well, but obviously, I guess that's just like on you at that point.
Yeah, LN release maps are very mind blockable. This is a very true statement. This is spoken from experience. I am an LN release main, and I still mind block all of LN release maps.
Same.
If you want to try to get a good start, you just mind block the intro very easily. So I would say for LN release maps, just train your raw skill. Don't really retry much. If you want to play, just play. If it's almost good for you, then play it more. It's like fairly chill, but like you have to be focused on the releases. Training enough LNs definitely help you play this map well.
Yeah, exactly. So 4200 combo, that's exactly where the map is going to conclude. So yeah, pretty much a straightforward LN reuse that we've seen in other rounds, and of course upgrade just a tinge to 1.05 to just to ensure a little bit more of a map pool balance as per usual. So yeah, this is gonna be quite difficult for what we have seen from last week's coordination. So good luck on this pick, first and foremost, as we move on 2, LN Density. So LN2.
Density!
This one's gonna be
Wow! Wow.
Ascension
Why do
to
we have
Heaven. What?
I have a custom background, by the way.
Oh wait, who
Wow,
drew that?
Yeah, well, of course it's Valeria, but I would like to give a shout out to Valeria for drawing this one as well. This background is made for this map, maybe just this map, but this is a very familiar song that I don't think needs introduction from my CPK map, and then to freaking Hurricanic, and then now we have Ascension to Heaven. So get your Eterna hands out, and let's play 200 BPM Density.
I mean, everyone literally knows what Ascension to Heaven at this point. I mean, it's definitely probably up there in terms of Psy's most well-known songs, besides from Freedom Dive and Blues Zenith. I was about to say another word there, but on accident, but I somehow managed to restrain myself from doing so for comedic effect. So, yeah. Going back to this map, however, this one's going to be pretty much what you'd usually expect for Element Density, where it's like, it's very cookie cutter in terms of how much parents you can really address if you want to just stick to regular conventions. This one features more, I guess, the type of LN densities that you see in most of Uis or Saren's kind of maps. Although, there is a lot more bursts that are incorporated within this one that do go around 1/8, so definitely just another thing to watch out for going into this map, with some staggered releases during this section while it's the calmest around here, and it's only 2.5 minutes as well, so a lot shorter than the previous map, but still packs a punch with how dense a lot of these releases are going to be on the fly.
200 BPM Density. Rhino mapping this is a lot more complex in terms of double usage as well. There's a lot of 1/4 lines that use doubles instead of the usual, like, every main beat is a double. It's not as simple as this, like, how he did in Rise to it, except this one is now full LN. But, you know, it's kind of reflecting the kind of complexity that this density map has, as we try to enter the outro of this map. This song just doesn't really end as we enter the ending, but, you know, a fairly short map for density, 2 minutes and 33 seconds, but there's a lot of, like, break parts for you to work with as we enter this long outro as well. Fairly simple density, but you look at the starting, it's fairly scary, but it's, again, like you mentioned, some 1/8 burst that are in play there that kind of makes the map a little bit more difficult. But, you know, some drums do be like that, 1/8 is there, but yeah, 995.7k from APQ. Ascension to Heaven. Again, shout out to Valeria for drawing this background as well. Look at Poppy, she's just looking at the sky. She's just looking up.
Are you sure she's looking at the sky? Because it looks like she's literally looking at us right now. Ugh.
Oh, I mean, yeah, she is like, oh, she is looking at. That's true. Hi, Poppy.
I
Wait,
feel
no, I'm Poppy.
creeped out. I'm so scared.
No, I see woman. I cry. Oh no, that's okay. Poppy stare. Anyways. Sure, you don't need to hat Poppy, bro. Alright. Ellen free, we have stereotype again.
Dude, I like how our streamer literally head pat Poppy right as we were on the results screen, but right before transitioning into our Ellen free costume for this round, which is going to be yet another map by stereotype. So, second of the bunch is going to be none other than Venom, Kairiki Bear. I mean, everyone and their moms already knows this song. This literally, like, no one else is capable of drawing backgrounds like these. Whenever you see a background like this, you always assume it's Kairiki Bear because they've always been really similar to each other. So, yeah.
This is so true. Kairiki Bear coming in. This is a, I would say, very standard LN wildcard or LN tech, you might call it. Like, Graces and then LN Dumbs. It's, I would say, like, my perfect style of LN free, I guess. Like, because a lot of people have different opinions on what wildcard really is. And in my opinion, at least, like, some variety of patterns between stream Dumbs and some tech Graces, guys. Basically the LN freak that I was imagining at first, and this one pretty much plays it out as how I would think LN freak should be.
Yeah, exactly. And I definitely think when it comes to expression and how the sound representation as far as it goes in this map is definitely done really well, especially as you would usually expect from stereotypes. So a lot, from what it looks like, this one is meant to be the wild card-ish Orient Ellen map, and I definitely feel it does a really good job of that because there's a variety of patterns that are really introduced with this one that express a lot of different things going on at once. I mean, this is yet another recognizable song. I say that like not everything in this Ellen pool is literally been songs that everyone knows, except from I have no idea how I don't even know the K-pop song by default, but this one, I mean, obviously resonates with the Vocaloid community and also just a good portion of many of Romania players because everyone loves Vocaloid. I mean, it's the one thing that's like literally the best thing ever, as there's a lot of dump patterns that are introduced with this one, as well as these reverse shields as well, which I feel definitely gets the job done. It definitely gets the point of this map across, where it is one of those maps you have to really look out for strategically, and being almost on the long side, this is like basically just sandwiched in between the other two LNs in terms of length as well. So that adds some extra challenge into this one as well, kind of.
Yeah, it's fair. Also, this map doesn't really have a lot of breaks as well. I would like to point out, like, a lot of shield and LNs transitioning. It's, I would say, not very dense. I mean, it's still relatively fast. 152 BPM shields are no joke, but it's fairly comfortable at all these patterns, like races as well. If you're comfortable at LNs, these patterns is actually not that difficult until here, where the density does ramp up by quite a bit.
Indeed, and especially in this section, there's a lot of staggered releases that are still thrown in here and there, and I definitely would imagine that the direction that these patterns generally flow in can really challenge the comfort of a variety of a lot of players that are remaining in the tournament as well. So yeah, I think that does it for all I really need to describe this map. Like, it's pretty much like what you'd usually expect for this song. Like, it's fairly straightforward. Everyone knows what this one is, and combine this one with Stereotype's usual doings on LN pretty much adds fuel to the fire, as that's exactly what we need to continue gassing up this map pool.
Yeah. LN3, I think Stereotype also map LN3 for Jazz literally this week as well, so he's gonna map again for LN3 here. Venom by Kairiki Bear, the song that everyone will love. And we love Vocaloid. And yeah, that does conclude our LNs. 5.6 stars. OD 7.5 gonna be the end of the LN pool. So EX1 is a very familiar name. Welcome back, Lord. You did not map this last minute totally, but this is also a song that I would say a fair good amount of people would know. This is a custom, but it's like a second diff of a full set that Lord has been making. Top diff was featured in SSR, and this is the second diff that he's going to be making for SSR.
I swear the top diff was featured as a... I remember the top difficulty was featured as a boss pick SSR. Somewhere in SSR. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I guess I am not really that surprised that he ended up remapping this for this tournament. I mean, he was like originally promised to do a EX1 map either way, so I mean, everyone pretty much knows how this song goes. Like, this was originally a song that stems from EGTS's 2022 edition, the Expert Global Title Showdown thingamajig from 2022. So yeah, I mean, expecting that this one is going to more or less continue the same convention of some of these really difficult Rise patterns being showcased throughout the map. I mean, I think everyone pretty much knows what they're going to be in for when it comes to this map alone. I mean, it's Speed Core, it's a lot that's mapping it. There's going to be a lot of technical tomfoolery going around here and there.
Yeah. Technical-wise, it's going to be, I repeat, 301 BPM cut streams. We are jumping by quite a bit, as you can see. So 5 minutes and 12 seconds. This is where the EX picks gets really long, I would say. 5 minutes entering. This is almost as long as our TV, by the way. Foreshadowing, but yeah, this is gonna be very, very dense 300 BPM. But it's very short. It's very fast. Like, it just appears for like half a second.
Yeah, indeed. So this one, for this being the harder Rice map, I think the main point that this one tries to get across, at least trying to contrast with the rest of the Rice Pool, is that it aims to be more of a physicality check when it comes to this map alone. I mean, you can see from the pretty funny progression in terms of the star rating for some of the previous EX1 maps we've had so far that this one is definitely quite a stark jump. It's literally by 1.2 in terms of star rating, but I mean, it doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things when this literal replayer has gone somehow sub 70 perfects on this one, on V2.
Put your guess on who replayed this. I still hate that name, but you know, being the second highest score of this entire like Mappool replay list, I guess 999.2k. Nat playing this is just insane. 301 BPM streams, by the way. A lot of like these like little short bursts are the basically the main dish of this one. A lot of interesting drum stream, cut stream patterns, I would say.
Dude, I swear Law is always going to be permanently cursed with not FCing anything that this guy just throws at him, or anything he throws at this guy. Like, it's been happening with, like, any tiebreaker in SSR, except from the Grand Finals one when, I don't know, it was played in Showcase, or, like, at the final match or something. And then we have, like, this map, which, I don't know, is also somehow getting sliced in half by an insane ratio that I am not sure if it's even going to be replicated in the actual matches for this round in particular. Like, it's definitely quite early.
I don't think it's possible. I really don't think 999.2k is hard to beat. I mean,
yeah,
I can put my fingers on like some people may be able to 997, 998k. There's like a few people I can think of. Maybe like Arrow, Yellow, those people, you know. But like,
yeah, of course.
But like 999k is like okay,
it's evil.
Yeah.
If we actually end up seeing that in match, I would definitely be scarred for my life, because this is literally really difficult for round 16 Mappool as well. And,
yeah, round 16.
Yeah.
Round 16, by the way.
Yeah, dude, if this is somehow only round 16, then I'm concerned as to how Grand Finals is going to look with an EX1 pick like this. If there even will be one.
Yeah, there will be. Yeah, you wait on Grand Finals EX1, but like, I would say, is it that hard? Like, a lot of these times I would say are quote-unquote manipulable. There's a lot more, it's fairly comfortable, so it looks dense, but I would say players would still be able to manage that combo side of things, but in the end of the day, it's still 300 BPM stream. Like, not good at Rice, just ban this one. Good at Rice, just protect this one. It's that easy.
Yeah, more or less. I definitely would imagine that this map hits the sweet spot for a variety of really physical Rice players. Of course, watch out for this ending as well. A lot of producers love to do that with their originals in tournaments, but yeah. I definitely would imagine, like, harkening back to what you were saying about some players earlier, I definitely would imagine that this is probably the type of map that I would imagine Yellow in particular just basically feasting off of, like, it's a 5-star ribcage of meat. Like, it's just... It's definitely like one of those maps that I would imagine a lot of players could definitely throw out at strategically if they feel confident enough to play into this. But I definitely would imagine this is probably going to be an absolute hell of a map for the people in the losers bracket to play, because it's 5 minutes long, the longest regular map in the map pool by far, and just how difficult a lot of these Rice patterns are for how long the map is as well.
Definitely, but yeah, this is like a little bit of a big of a jump for a EX1 pick. Don't worry, it won't be as long in the next round, if I remember. I actually don't remember. You know what? Forget it. Anyways, EX2.
Oh boy, this song again. Dude, I swear
this is a song I wanted to map like 5 months ago, and then for some reason it got ranked in like April or something.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I had this awkward moment where I'm like, okay, why is this song suddenly rank? And then was featured in Abstraction Cup, right?
Yeah, because
and so I was telling myself like, should I continue this? The conclusion is yes.
I mean, to be fair, the song itself is a banger, so honestly, I can't even fault you for that at that point, because like, I remember when I was pulling this for Abstraction, or Quirt Yui's version of it, where it's like, it features a lot more of these very abrasive patterns, especially for a hybrid somehow in only ran at 16 as well. So there was a lot of really funny mini jacks in that one, which I don't seem to see being reflected in this version, but I think it makes sense because, again, this is a completely different version of this one as well. It's a completely different artistic approach to this map, and I think this is the first miss I've ever seen in a replay at all.
Yeah, there are. I think this ends hybrid. Actually, I won't say if TV is an FC or not, but you'll see. This is more like a actually variety of patterns. Like you have this sort of density-ish section, but in the middle there's gonna be tech as well. This map is very messy. Like you can see why it's OD 6.6 only. Like a lot of dumps here and there, even in this quote-unquote break part. This is not even a break part anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is the break part, but then it also immediately goes into the next section, which features a bunch of some of these denser sound designs as well, which is by default going to feature some more Ellen Flams as well, which will be pretty hard to control as well. I mean, this is an Ellen map, so makes sense you would need to have a lot more of these technical patterns if you really want to be able to challenge a variety of players, and especially to keep on top with what we've seen of EX1, so you want to be able to reflect that for the LN players as well. And going into this section, there is some... Okay, this is definitely going to vex a lot of Percy players in the tournament, I swear.
Yeah, this one section is like the burst heaven, then after that, gonna go back to the fake part. This is where the Abstraction Cup pick ends, by the way, but we are halfway through only.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it ends originally.
Like, this is like where the song really goes crazy. I really like this final part of the song, by the way, but this final part is where like it gets really dense, and I mean really dense. Why is it 6.33 stars? Like you might ask, because of this following quarter of the map roulette. There's gonna be featuring, well, you'll see, a little bit of a grace triple transition, but here we go, the drop.
And we are going to be going into this final drop very explosively with some dump bursts being thrown in here and there. So this is going to be very dense, I want to say, in terms of how the dump tuition is kind of managed there. A lot of really tight lens where it just feels like you just cannot let go of the field for even a second, because this is literally how the map addresses this section with how intense it is. And, you know, with just even a small few refrains, there's even the smallest points of breathing that you have where you only need to hit Rice can really trip up a lot of players, especially. And going to this section, there's pretty much still a lot that happens here going into this little bait of a break section, which throws you right back into the swing of things. Denser density in terms of the chord density as well, thicker chords as well, as it's pretty much full inverse you're playing at this point.
Yeah, this is just crazy stuff at the end, like full density with some of the L1s are actually not just simple 1/4 releases as well. There are a lot of 1/6 gaps that just appear randomly. Not randomly, but like sometimes it appears in like some more like emphasized vocals, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And honestly, that's fair enough, because like, especially with these kinds of maps as well, you get to express your patterning a lot more when it comes to denser parts of the song. And I definitely think that this song really provides a good template for that as well, which, you know, we can pretty much see in your map and also Quirt Yui's original rendition of this one, which is ranked, and pretty much most people and their moms have played that at one point because it's ranked. Yeah. I've got to play it myself, but I'm going to be skill capped on it either way.
I'm glad that there's a ranked map for this one. Like, I know I said like, oh, why is there a ranked map? But like, I'm glad like this song would get reached out to other people, because I personally find this song out of nowhere in like SoundCloud is like generational for me. I've been listening to it for a long time now, and you know, gonna feature my own style, my own weird LN gimmick style on this one for EX2, because again, EX is like, I want mappers to have fun mapping what they want to map, so that's it for LN2. Not LN2, EX2. TB is kind of a joke one, but like, the joke part is only coming from the background.
Wait.
Another
what
Daria
is
chorus
that
song.
music?
So let's put down the replay. Let's put it down. I'm gonna explain it bit by bit. It's like the ultimate Poppy lore level, not the character. Me lore level. So, TV time.
All right. As we move on to the tiebreaker, it is going to be home by you, an abrasive and passionate way home. As I see a lot of screenshots in the background. What even is that? This literally feels like a mood board than anything. This just feels like the most autistic background possible, I swear, in the best way possible.
That is because I'm autistic. I don't know if I'm autistic. I haven't tested it.
Well, so am I.
Yeah, this is like screenshots I have found from back in 2023 to now. Like, I have gathered around 200 screenshots and I just put them all together. And then, like, I don't know, change the contrast a little bit to fit the song. And then this is the tiebreaker with Ultimate Lily Jack Scam TV. Oh god.
Yeah, so pretty much riding off the wind that we've seen of various other picks, this pretty much carries on the framework we've seen of both the EX picks and various of the other maps and the Mappool, and pretty much turns it up to 100 as we have a lot of these jack patterns, a lot of these streams. You have this section where you can actually breathe for once, which should be fairly easy to autopilot, but it's whenever it comes to the denser section and the drop by far where most often than not, it's going to be pretty difficult, especially with that Ellen jump throw as we saw. Oh dear god.
Yeah. The main star rating is coming from those, like, slowly more dense LN rolls. Those are, like, the main source of the fact that it's not 6.5. Without them, I think it's 5.9, which is pretty crazy. This section is crazy. I nerfed this section like 5 times. It was really difficult. It's like kind of scream section where it's like hybrid tech-ish thing where it's like just a bunch of graces and flames at once together. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, indeed. That was definitely quite a section we witnessed there of some pretty dense hybrid parenting as we've seen. I would imagine a lot of players would pretty much go for the Mappool that we've basically just thrown at them and probably see this as an absolute death sentence to go into because of how hard a lot of these sections are. And, you know, going into this right section, it doesn't even let up on the density either. You cannot have much of a time to breathe for yourself as you have literal 1/8 at this tempo to hit. And there's a lot of Majaks thrown into the mix as well with some of these really fast bursts as well.
And into this section where the LNs do start to appear more, like swap, spam, those shields are you're seeing it right, it is shields over and over again. I try to map this such that the shields feel as comfortable as possible. I don't know if I've achieved that. Like, there's a lot of new jack still. It's still very, very dense. Like, it's very easy to just mess up on a lot of these patterns and, you know. Good thing that there's a lot of break parts for you.
Yeah, thank God that we have a lot of break sections in the map like this because... Dude, if this was a tiebreaker and I had to be the one playing this, I would genuinely be so distraught if I had to play some of these harder sections, like, for the entire course of the map as is, which is, like, what, 5.5 minutes, so... These break sections in the map should be an absolute gift from the gods that you even have to have them, because at least that way you can at least try and breathe a little bit going into, you know, even more of these sections, which I would definitely assume that this one is one of those more progressive maps, which only gets a little worse the more you go into it, in which, you know, you get some more of these denser patterns, you get some more concepts being thrown at you, which are very easy to choke on. They're easier to choke on to be able to hit at all, and somehow our root player probably still mad as per usual, just literally destroying it. Like, how? This is evil for Red.
Speaking of that, this is his warm-up score. He told me he warmed up with this.
He warmed up,
you know what?
Bro. Of course he warmed up with this map, man. Of course he does that. He just... Oh my god, man.
Oh my days. but this like whole TI section, my kind of gimmick for this is it gets progressively more and more Ellen heavy. Because Ellen is my skill set, right? I kind of want to go from something not as myself to something that's more like myself with Ellen. See, being homesick, it just felt like a map that I want to try to show what I have done for the past like few years in this game alone. There's a lot of stuff that I've done from being a random 5 tickets to being who I am right now. This whole density section to try to end it off, and yeah, just sort of be poppy lore level that you have.
Indeed. So yeah.
And then
Okay, and we have the
This is
bro
what
missed on
I
the
don't-
motorcar item sound.
oh, what is this? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that ending is
I have no
necessary.
idea what happened there. All right.
Necessary
Amazing.
ending. I don't know what you did when you're making the song, but okay. An abrasive and passionate way home. This sort of like a tribute to all my friends that I've made along the way. I feel like tournaments by itself is something that has given me a lot of memories alone, and you know, this 200 screenshots and images are the proof of what I've become as my person. So
Yeah, I can
very
tell.
wholesome ending for autistic background.
I only just realized I couldn't see Skibidi Mania Cup in the background for some reason, dude.
Oh no, I mean
Bro,
that is like the core part of tournament history for me. Like, come on.
Dude, same. That was like literally the only ever time I won third in a tournament at all, and I've been playing since what? 2020. I've been playing since COVID. I feel old, and somehow I only got third in that tournament. That was insane.
It's like, oh my days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lot
It was
of
definitely quite an
especially on the left side. It was a experience and a half, but whatever.
Yeah.
You see, yeah. TV is I would love to see this TV being played as well, like with this silly background and with how many choke potential this map has. It gets a little bit unpredictable in TV matches, and I would definitely be excited to see the players perform. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, pairing this tiebreaker with the rest of the map as we've seen, this does open up for some very volatile situations and matches where it's only going to enhance the competitive feel of a lot of them. So I definitely feel that this map alone is going to really amplify the matches we will be seeing, as that will conclude it for the Round 16 Mappool Showcase. We've pretty much presented everything we had to present, and yeah, that pretty much is all I have to say, really. Just a great Mappool overall,
Yeah.
and
No, don't
oh
show that
my
thing,
god!
man. Oh my god. Dude, you gotta chill out with the thing, man. Okay.
The
But yeah.
freaking title jump scare goes insane.
Large logo jump scare. Anyways.
Just to remind you what this
Mappool,
tournament is, in case you forgot.
Yeah. just to make sure, guys. This is Cat Young Cup, guys. This is not Attraction Cup. This is not just a summer tournament. This is not Japan Cup. This is Cat Young Cup.
Exactly.
Nice.
There's only one Katyam Cup, and it's this one in particular.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Well,
bro.
see if you guys can find yourself in the background. Yes or not, I would like to thank you for being a friend of mine as well. As a tribute to that TV. Yeah. Let's end off the stream soon enough. It is quite late for me, and I still have to upload my maps as well.
Yeah, that pretty much does it all for me on this match as well, on this stream as well. Sorry, I said match, but yeah.
Match.
Overall, yeah,
Oh
we
my
will
God.
be introducing the conditionals as per introduced earlier on to maps, and you know, with these two maps as well as everything that will be happening later on, we will be increasing the matches to a first to 6 or best of 11 type match as well, since this will be the side of the map pool going into this round and also quarterfinals as well. So once again, I've been Epic Man 2, joined by Poppy, and we wish you the best of luck for the oncoming weekend, because this is quite a map pool to be witnessing, and we've got a lot of matches that are going to be pretty much reflective of the insanity that this map pool is. Be there, be square, and we'll catch you later on. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, best of luck to the players. It is your turn to show off. So, see you guys there. Default schedules will be out fairly soon, as well as the statistics and stuff. Announcement. Wait for them. And yeah, remember to do the quests. And yeah, that's it for me as well. We will see you guys this weekend.